Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast to guide you home into your human journey here on Earth. My name is Vivienne Gerard, and it is my delight to co-create with Gaia and share our messages from Source in this now moment. Here we go. Episode 420. It is Thursday. Here in Cincinnati, we have a beautiful spring day. There is so much sunshine pouring in the windows. And I have been feeling the need for simplicity today to have just a really simple message that we can tune into in this moment and come back to again and again when we need it in future moments. So the title for today is Thank You. And while this is a thank you to you for being in this space with me, it feels like the message I most want to, or the frequency I most want to align with is a thank you for the ability to have this experience of being a human at this time on this planet, to be able to have this range of magic and joy and contrast that is the human experience. And so what feels good to me in the moment is just to start sharing whatever comes through my awareness of things that I am grateful for, deep thank yous for whatever it is that pops as I start naming it. And then my invitation to you is to allow it to open up whatever it does in you, and then to carry you into perhaps moments after you listen to this podcast of more thank yous, items that I did not think of, or something that takes you in a different direction of gratitude, and to continue that movement of the energy, and then perhaps to share that with someone today, tomorrow, whenever you listen to this podcast, and invite just another pause of being still and saying thank you. And so we can sort of popcorn off of each other, or ping pong, not even ping pong, expand, like multiply, like a beehive. You get bigger and bigger, and the edges are all touching each other, and then the next one gets activated. And so we can start perhaps sending this ripple of thank you, deep, powerful, lighthearted, gorgeous thank you energy. We can start sharing that and rippling that out more and more. There is such an intense fear, mentality, and feeling inside of so many people as we watch what's going on in the news and live our lives. There's lots to be afraid of. And while I always suggest turning to love, sometimes love is such a big stretch to go from fear all the way to love. It's such a but perhaps the in-between or the bridge can be gratitude. And so we just play with saying thank you. So I'm just going to allow thank yous to start moving, and I trust whatever I say is going to serve you, and it's going to serve me, and it'll expand the beauty of this experience for all of us. So thank you. My deepest thank you is for this planet, for, I had this image this morning of the planet, having her atmosphere at the edge of Gaia, so that there's this bubble around her, and then souls one by one coming in through the atmosphere and choosing to come have a human journey, choosing to be in a human body as a baby and then evolve or not, grow and become adults, and just follow this trajectory of being a human on this planet. And what I could feel is every single soul who arrives into Gaia or Earth chooses to have that experience. And so from Gaia, Earth, there's this thank you. Thank you for choosing to be here. Thank you for choosing to come into Gaia and contributing to this co-creation that we're all here to do together. And the gratitude Gaia feels for souls to be willing to do that. And so my gratitude is back to Gaia to say thank you for being this planet where we get to have this incredible range of experiences. We can have all the money in the world, and we can have no money in the world, and we can have, fear, and we can also have love, and we can have every range in the middle of that, and it's our choice, and we're allowed to play with those choices and shift. And so thank you for the choice. Thank you for the freedom of creating, of expressing, Thank you for air. I feel like so many times we forget what a gift it is, like just to breathe, and to breathe pure air, to breathe in air that nourishes and fuels our bodies instead of toxic air. And so can we be grateful in every moment for the air that we are breathing, and then perhaps set the intention to shift that quality of air for all of us, for all humans, not just for me, but for all humans. Can we extend that gratitude and let it change the quality of the air? Water. I'm so grateful for water. I love to bathe in it. I love to brush my teeth with it. I love to drink water. I love to cook with water. I love to play in my pool with water. I love to splash in the rivers and the creeks and the oceans with water. Like, oh my God, the beauty of water. Isn't that amazing how we just forget, and how so much of our bodies are made up of that magical movement of fluid that we call water? We are so, what is the word? Like unaware. We're so not ignorant, because we're aware of it. We're so not paying attention to how water is just constantly moving in and through us. And yeah, thank you for water. Thank you for fire. I mean, all the elements, the wind, the actual structure of the earth that is inhabitable. It's habitable. It's not inhabitable. Like, it's a habitable planet. We get to live here and have all of these elements work and create, these amazing continents and islands. And yeah, thank you for Cincinnati. I'm such a lover of this town and the people in this town, and the mountains not mountains. We don't have mountains like other states and countries, but we have big hills, and we get to see a landscape that is diverse. And the contrast in the weather. Thank you for the contrast in the weather of this experience, where I can have sunshine today and warmth, and then tomorrow snow, and probably on Sunday, like more sunshine. I mean, what an incredible thing to have contrast in the temperatures and the physical conditions. I was talking to a friend of mine who has a home in Colorado, and she was telling me how many inches of snow they have had in Colorado, and how grateful she is for that, for skiing and for being outside. And all I could think is, that is so much snow. That is so much liquid piling up on top of each other. And yet, within hours of flying or driving, you can go from this sunshine, no rain, no snow, to that experience. Like, isn't that magical? And how do we forget? How do we forget to be appreciative of the beauty that is this planet? So thank you for Cincinnati, and yeah, the river that goes through here, all of the trees on our property. We have the most beautiful old trees. We have some new ones that have been planted. Thank you for like growth and rebirth, and the cycles, the seasons that allow us to watch things grow. I remember at my house before this one, I planted so many of the bushes and the flowers and the perennials, and then I would just watch them grow and spread, and then I would divide them and move them, and they would just continue to flourish. I do it here, but I haven't put as much time in as I did at my old house. But the beauty of that, to be able to watch growth and flourishing, to see it physically in front of our eyes. I mean, thank you for children, to be able to watch children grow up. Like sometimes we're so busy raising them, and then we're so busy letting go of them, and then we're so busy trying to support them that sometimes we just forget to sit back and just marvel, just be in awe of the experience of being a parent. Like, what grace is it to be a parent? And if we do it right, or if we screw it up, like, we're still always hopefully learning. And thank you for the lessons. Thank you for the teachers, teachers who humble us, these young growing up adults who can humble us with their wisdom and their eyes, the way they can see right into our souls. Oh, there's like, I get squirmies. There's like no dodging the truth when my children are looking me in the eye and they say, they say something that maybe I don't want to hear, but I know is true. Oh, it makes me want to, like I'm in the detention office sometimes. But thank you for that. The teachings. Oh my goodness. And in contrast, like, I'm so grateful for the pleasures, the play, the joy, the magical moments of connection and delight and irreverence and silliness that are just as important as those serious moments, as those rougher detention office, principal's office kind of moments. Like, I'm also so grateful for the play and the joy and community, you know, as I've been feeling this, as much as I really treasure my alone time and my ability to go inward and open up all of these landscapes inside of me, these awarenesses and understandings and memories. To be able to open all of that up is so powerful and enticing, and I could spend tons of time hanging out in my own landscape inside. And oh, I'm so grateful for the beauty of friendship and family and connection and community. I feel like, you know, one of the best parts of being a human is that intimacy that we get to create with others around us. And even when it takes us a while, or we drop all the way in and then we get hurt and we have to pull back and then we try again, even in that leaning in and pulling back and trying and then adjusting, and, you know, even in all of that, I'm so grateful for that. It adds such richness and depth and potency to being a human. As much as I love that inner work and that quiet time by myself, like, wow, what other people can bring to our daily, our monthly experiences, like, it's incredible. And I feel so grateful for that. And I feel like often we get busy and we're in our routine. We're just like checking off the list and moving through things, and we forget. So these moments of gratitude bring us back to that. They remind us, like, hey, don't forget the people that matter to you, and, you know, to make time for that. I'm grateful for time. And this is an edge for me because I haven't always felt that way. And often, even now, I have that sense of like, oh, there's never enough time. I'm running out of time. When will there be more time? And so it's felt, I feel lack about time often, or pressure or overwhelm about time. And I think a lot of that is collective. It's our collective human experience, you know, moving faster and more people adding more momentum to the motor that is humanity. And it's individual, right? Like, I choose to engage with that experience of time where it's not under my control or finite. Yeah. And so I just want to say thank you for time. Thank you for And when I say thank you, I feel like I'm saying this to all of humanity. I'm saying this to all humans, all souls in human bodies who are co-creating in this energy field of Gaia. We're all doing it together. It's not just me, it's every one of us that is making something happen here on earth. And so when I say thank you, it's for all of us that are co-creating this experience. So thank you for time, the time to create, the time to pause, the time to play, the time to work, the time to grow, the time to be a parent and then to be a grandparent, the time to be a child, just the journey with time. I was watching Santara's video, I think it was for cancer earlier this week, and she was talking about time as a spiral again, which, I think we forget sometimes. We think that it's all linear. There's the past, the present, the future, what was, what is, what's going to be. Like we have it very horizontally structured. And when we can remember, it's not that. It's this, as Sand describes it, she's like, it's the spiral. And as we're moving in the spiral, our awareness now might touch something that's on the far end of that spiral. These are my words, not hers. We might touch something on the far end there, but we think it's happening now because we're thinking linear. And so we expect it and it's not happening and we're waiting, and it's spiraling its way closer to us and making its way into this moment. But we forget that. And so this dance with time is extraordinary and complicated, so frustrating, but so unique, I believe, to life on Gaia, life here on Earth. And so I'm so grateful for time and my dance with it. I don't know if I have it better or worse, but it's evolving, and that's always good. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful for health, for my awareness about my body and being able to listen to it and trust the messages that my body sends me. I feel like when we dance with time and we're rushed and busy and overwhelmed, we sometimes forget to listen to what our body is saying. And I realized this week my body is saying, more play. You're so serious. You're working so much. Like a little more play is really, really good. And so I'm grateful for the play. I'm grateful for the work, but I'm also grateful for the play. Yeah. How about saying a thank you for food? Like food as a whole experience of being human that we can taste, that we can digest, and that we can create food, that we can share food, that we can make food, grow it. And yeah, food, oh my goodness. Like, what would the human journey be like if we didn't have all of this food as part of our experience? Like if we just hooked up like a car to a little battery pack or to a gasoline tank, and we just poured liquids in, or like an IV. And so our food was just sort of delivered into us, and that was the human experience with food. Doesn't that sound terrible? Now we have like food cooking competitions. I don't know, so many different stores and restaurants, all of these ranges of ways we can experience and taste food. And yet sometimes we forget to be grateful for that and the abundance of food. My fridge right now is overloaded. We had Indian food last night. I made soup yesterday. I'm going to grill in a little while. Like we have so much fresh fruit and veggies and nuts and nettle tea, like so much. I'm so grateful for all of it and the abundance that allows me all of that experience. Aren't you grateful for your fridge? And for a fridge that can keep food cold so we can have more options longer? And a stove and a grill that can cook food? I mean, what was that time where we had just fire? Before we had fire, what was that? Like, how awesome is it that the human realm now gives us all of these options? And yet we forget to say thank you. We just start moaning and groaning because we don't have this or don't have that. Oh my God. Thank you for food. Thank you, humanity, for coming up with all these options on food, because I love food, which takes me to sound. Thank you for sound, for music. Music, you guys know this. Music delights me. Music fuels me, inspires me, soothes me, like heals me. Music is medicine for me. It's incredible. And I feel for all of us, and many times we forget. We're moving through the day and busy and checking things off, and we don't realize what is coming in through our throat chakra, through our ears. And so we're just dumping garbage into our ears, right? All the fear, all of the like expectations, like we just pour it in. And then we forget to balance that with sounds that heal and soothe and please. And so I bring sound into my day as much as possible. And yeah, I love sound. I'm so grateful for music and voices. To be able to hear, don't we forget sometimes what a gift it is to have hearing, until perhaps we don't have it. When we do have it, we forget. But the sound of my children's voices, the sound of my husband's voice, my mom's voice, my dad, like my siblings, my friends, like each one has a resonance or a frequency, and those voices that we love, when we hear them, like the heart chakra just right, just like you can just feel your whole system relaxing. And I don't know if I tell the people around me how much I love their voices. I'm going to have to start doing that. To just say thank you. Like, thank you for speaking. Thank you for having your words, your vibration so present around me. Like, thank you. Yeah. Thank you for technology that allows me to hear voices I wouldn't normally be able to hear. I will tell you, I have been listening to a lot of the Ukrainian president's voice, his frequency, and I'm so grateful for technology that allows me the privilege of that, of hearing voices otherwise I would not have been able to hear. And to be able to transmit my voice, like the technology that allows us to connect and have these new touch points. Like, wow. So thankful for that. Years ago, not even that many years ago, like when I was in college, just what? What? Social media, the internet? Like, what? Yeah. I was saying to my friend this morning, I am so grateful for age and wisdom. Thank you. I feel that to my soul, to my body. Like, thank you for making it to 51 and rocking it. Like I have all of these memories and stored like moments of living that I can access and bring forward whenever I need them, like that library inside of my body, my mind, my soul, and my DNA. That library that is stored inside of me is a massive treasure chest. Like, there's so much goodness in there. And I'm so in love with that I'm at this age and have this story. And yeah, and I'm not afraid of what the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years look like, because man, the last 50, deep gratitude for the last 50. So I'm thankful for age and wisdom, and also for youth, for children. I love the range of the human journey. That's not the right word, the range. I love the cycle, the evolution of the human journey, that we get to begin tiny, not knowing, although I think we know way more when we're babies and little children than adults think we do. But we seem to need to learn and soak everything up, and then we spout all that at our parents when we're teenagers. And then we come into our own awareness in our 20s, like, I don't know if I know anything and what I'm going to do with my life. And then by the time we get to 30s, we're kind of figuring it out. 40s, we're starting to move. And then 50s, we're like, oh my God, look at me. Look at who I am. Like, this is so cool. I mean, who knows what 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s will be like? Isn't it extraordinary that we get to have all of these different touch points, and that life includes all of that? Like, wow. And yet we're so busy, we forget to say thank you for that. Like, thank you. Thank you, Gaia. Thank you, Source. Thank you, souls. Thank you, humanity, for this human experience. Like, what a gift it is. What an incredible gift. And maybe a little more time appreciating the magic of it brings more joy into it, takes some of the fear out and expands the heart chakra's trust that it's good. It's good here on Gaia. It's good. And we have cycles and moments and places where energy is moving, and that's part of the co-creation. But overall, the human experience, it's incredible. It's incredible. And we choose it, or we wouldn't be here. So I'm going to wrap with that. Thank you to my soul for choosing to come. Thank you to Gaia for greeting me at the entry point and saying, come on in. And thank you to every single one of us who is co-creating at this time life on this planet. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for tuning into this vibration of pure love. I invite you to join me on Facebook or Instagram in a community I call the Gaia Tribe Reunion, where we show up together to share our soul's gifts, what we came here to Gaia to contribute to humanity. You can learn more at viviennegerard.com. Let's take this message of Gaia's love out into all of our relationships and communities today. So much love from my heart to yours.